It's Wednesday. I've had a few days to listen to the drum tracks I did over the weekend, and overall I'm really happy with them. They're not perfect, but I think the saying goes, never let perfect be the enemy of the good, or in this case, the enemy of the mediocre. So I think I can work with them. I definitely don't want to retrack all that stuff, so I think we can work with that. Today I'm going to do some scratch guitar tracks. A scratch track is a temporary placeholder track that you lay down for whatever reason. It could be, hey, I'm trying to write a solo, so I need to lay down the bass and the rhythm guitar over the drums so I have something to solo to, something like that. Similar to what I'm going to be doing. So all of my songs have 2 to 3 guitar tracks and a bass track. And there are 2 songs that I got drums for the other day that the rhythm guitar is pretty much solid and ready to go, but I need to work on some of the harmonies. I don't want to call it a solo track because I don't really solo, but guitars 2 and 3 are usually doing some kind of cool harmony because I'm a sucker for that. So a couple of those parts need some tweaks, so I'm going to lay down scratch tracks to work on that today. Everything I'm about to show you is not going to be the final product. I just want to disclaim that. Disclaim, is that a word? Anyway. So this is the Marshall Code 100. Sorry, I think it's kind of dirty. You can see how much I play guitar these days. It's a modeling amp, and it's kind of older. Modeling's actually come a lot further since this was produced, but I really like it. And what I like about it is it comes with a Marshall Code app. So you download the app, and then you can just download patches for presets. And there's a whole user community where people create and upload their patches, and it's been really cool. So I just went on and I searched for guitar players that have sounds that I like, and you can search for the guitar player and whatever album it was. So I searched for Dave Mustaine, Rust in Peace, and his preset came up. And I said, well, what about Adrian Smith, Power Slave from Iron Maiden? I kind of split the difference on the gain, added a little reverb, and that's the preset I use mostly. I just want to be clear that anything you hear in this video is not going to be the final product. It's not going to be the final sound and final setup I'm using. This is just for writing and practicing purposes. So when I do the final tracks, obviously I'm going to crank up the half stack and I'm going to mic it up. And I'm going to try some different mics, different configurations till I get a sound that I like. But for the scratch tracks, since there are people here that are trying to have their own lives and I can't just be cranking this thing up, unfortunately, my only option is to use the headphone out. So the signal I'm going to get from this is not going to be great. It's going to be kind of thin. This is just a standard cheap auxiliary cord that's coming out, and it's going straight into the interface here. And it's got an adapter on it, so it's going to have a thin sound. The result's not going to be great, but it'll be good enough for what I need to do today. So what I'll usually do, and I can hot swap, I'll probably go rhythm guitar and input 1, lead guitar number 1 and input 2, then back to 1, and then the bass on 2. So final version, I'll use a few different guitars. So I'll do rhythm, lead number 1, and then lead number 2 probably, because this is probably the most versatile guitar. It's a Jackson. It's a cheap one, but it gets the job done. This, maybe I'll do a video about one day. This is I call it the Warcaster. This is what I took the name from for this project. And it's, if you can identify this guitar, you can tell me what brand it is, what year it is. In the comments, I will send you something in the mail. So it's my little secret. It's a custom job. But for today, do the scratch tracks. I'll probably just use one guitar for all 3 of them. And I might even use it to do the bass track just because there's the bass. But for what I need it to do today, I'll probably just throw a bass track on there with that and use a bass modeling preset from the software. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. And hopefully I'll get some good results. So if I do, it'll be now. Alright, it's Thursday. Last night's little session wasn't as productive as I had hoped. I wanted to get 2 songs out of the way, but I was only able to get 1. But the good news on that front is what took me so long is that particular song, the guitar track number 2, I'd never really had a formal part for the verses and parts toward the end. So last night I was playing around, I finally stumbled on something I liked. So I did a little more writing than I planned to do, but I got that song done and I'm pretty happy with it. Tonight I'm gonna work on a different song, and this one's a little bit slower, but that's no less challenging, especially toward the end. So I feel like it's gonna be one of those, I do this thing where I try to do one take, try to all the way through, perfect take. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one, I'm going to be trucking along, everything's going to be perfect. I'm going to get right toward the end. I'm going to, in my head, say, oh my God, I'm going to make it. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to have a usable track. And then I'm going to screw up. So, money's on that. We'll see how it goes. Alright, it's the following Saturday. I've got all the drum tracks done. I've got a pretty good amount of scratch guitar done. So I decided to go ahead and mix down a few to use for this video. So basically what I did is I transferred my projects from my laptop to my actual PC. I can mix and master just fine on the laptop, but having a bigger display makes things a little easier. So I'm going to mix some stuff down, and hopefully I'll have something for this video.